The new year is all about fresh starts. It's about hammering home those goals that you set for yourself to start the year. It's not about pressuring yourself to get things done, rather motivating yourself to continue on that path that you set out for yourself. Let's make this new year a year of productivity, a year of learning, and a year of growth. Something that I enjoy doing to make sure that I continue on my productivity streak is rewarding myself. This is a form of motivation. This year, my goals haven't deviated too much from last year's. However, I've fine-tuned them a little bit, especially with the stages in my family dynamic with my son growing. I'm really grateful for the achievements from last year, and I hope you are too. For this year, I want to elevate further and continue to grow in each of these priorities that I've set out for myself. If you haven't utilized the tool that I've devised last year, I'll be sure to link the video down below, as well as the tool that you can explore further to see if it fits with your needs. This is a tool that helps me summarize and stratify the priorities and goals and the details that go with them. Without writing things down on paper or digitally, it'll be very difficult to keep track as time goes on. In terms of my goals for this year, I'm trying to make them a little bit more challenging to motivate myself to do a little bit more in each of them, even if they haven't shifted too much from last year's. I would invite you to do the same. It's really important to every now and then challenge ourselves as opposed to keeping things status quo. Not everything needs to be challenging. You could choose to keep your goals standard and stable every single year. But every now and then, it's good to mix things up a bit and keep a couple of your goals stable and standard, continuously repeating from year to year, with others that are a bit more challenging, with a little bit of a kick to make sure that you continue on that productivity streak. Everybody has different motivation techniques, and something that works for me personally wouldn't necessarily work for other people. So it's important to fine-tune and tailor these techniques for yourself. Find out what motivates you. As time goes on, our motivation might start to weaken. So it's important to nudge ourselves every now and then to remind ourselves that the path that we're on is truly rewarding towards the end. Success is just around the corner. And if we maintain that success in our horizon, we'll be able to continue further and further in the long run.
We all make that excuse that it's difficult to start a project, a task, or an endeavor unless it's the start of a new year, start of a new week, month, and so on and so forth. That arbitrary time frame is what hinders us from getting things started earlier. However, there is no harm in starting fresh in the new year. There is no excuse to procrastinate further to get started on what really, truly matters to us. That is why setting goals rather than resolutions is critical. That's something we'll be touching upon in next week's video to clarify the difference once more. Starting a new year is like turning a new page. We can start from scratch, from the first step, and take ourselves forward if we maintain that motivation. I've touched upon this earlier, where we need to reward ourselves somehow. Some people require materialistic, actual physical rewards, whereas others are happy with the will to succeed. It is up to you to define what motivation means for you, whether it's a figurative or a physical reward, and there is no wrong answer. We each function differently, and we need to accept that what works for us will not work for others, and vice versa. A new year is also time for reflection. Reflecting on what worked beautifully last year and what didn't work so well, so as not to repeat the same mistakes. We wouldn't want to carry last year's flaws into the new year because we want to improve further and make things better for ourselves to be able to succeed in the goals that we set out for ourselves, whether that's professionally, personally, and otherwise. Therefore, realistically thinking about the priorities and the time frame required to achieve these goals with each priority is very important. Only we would know the answer based on the goals that we're creating. We could run them by people close to us within our circle, whether professionally or personally, because these details may make sense to these people in our environment. All that matters is that we start on a clean slate in the new year. Thinking clearly and concisely about what matters to us. In next week's video, we'll be diving into how to create a concrete action plan. This will enable us to devise details that work rather than vagueness that only results in unsuccessful attempts. Happy goal setting!